Good morning, watch fans. This is Big Jim with the big wrist, fighting with his microphone today. Can't seem to make it go where I want. So if I sound a little weird, I apologize. It's either in my face or it's in front of the camera, which is where it should not be. Anyways, let's talk about something I just saw Teddy Baldassar and a few other people talk about recently. It was Jory Goodman. It was Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Great watch channel. One of my all-time favorites. One of my all-time favorite watch channels on YouTube. He talked about the best free watch collection of your current collection. What do you have right now that you could just pick three, keep three? You had to get rid of the other, however many watches there was, because of some problem, whatever the issue was. So do you keep three budget watches and raise all the cash? I mean, Jory has one hell of a collection compared to me. He could raise a lot of cash. Do you keep your three most expensive watches and dump the rest, or sell one expensive watch and mix it up? I think I would, I'd probably mix it up. I think if I had to pick three watches to keep, just three, of what I have currently. Remember, I have an entire another box of essentially fashion watches. Very few automatics in that collection. They're really just a bunch of ladies' watches and legacy fashion watches that I've had for 30 odd years or close to 30 years. So they're really not worth much other than to me. My dad's watch is in there. My stepdad's watch is in there. They're not worth anything except to me. So this is the valuable collection here, if you want to call it that. And if I had to pick three to keep, it would definitely start off with my favorite budget watch of all time, and I'm actually wearing its yellow sister right there. This is easily my favorite budget watch on the planet right now. If I could have got this at retail, $200, I'd have been tickled pink. I had to pay $170 for this watch, and then another $200 for the bracelet with a watch underneath it, and sold the watch, made a little money back. So I have $300 really, basically, in this watch the way it sits, including the stainless steel bezel with the black PVT coating. It's not anything special. It's just black, some kind of hard anodized black paint. That's really not that hard, but it has held up. I mean, I've had it for a few weeks and a couple of months maybe, and it has one small scratch. You can just see it right there, right next to the I think it's right next to the 9. Yeah, so right there. Anyways, it's a budget watch. This is a keeper. I wear this all the time. I wear one of these all the time. But if I had to get rid of every other G-Shock I had, I'd be hard-pressed to get rid of this watch. I love this thing. I really do. I don't know what the deal is. It's just, I saw it and I fell in love. If I had to keep an everyday wear, something that was, this is it, my budget everyday wear right there. If I had to pick one other watch, to keep, thinking the only reason I would sell these is financial problems, so I'd probably want to get rid of the expensive ones, or most of them anyways, and want to keep a bunch of budget watches. So, I wear this of my two divers. I wear this one the most. Seiko Samurai Save the Ocean. I haven't worn it in apparently 9 days. Yeah, it's been 9 days since I wore it last. But I wore it on Halloween, apparently. I didn't know that. This is my favorite diver. I've owned a lot of divers. Like everybody else, I went down that deep dive and had a lot of them. A lot. I don't know how many I've had. 30, 25 or 30 dive watches. And these are the two I kept right here. This is a great watch. It's accurate. It's comfortable. It's got a fantastic aftermarket bracelet. Rugged as all get out. And it's attractive. So that would have to be my second keeper right there. And this is a $300 fully custom put together Franken watch. But this watch, I could put it on the original Seiko strap, but why would I? This thing's paid for, so why would I not use the hex ad from strap code? This is a $250 watch used because it has a big scratch on the back. You can see that scratch in the back right there. I mean, you just get in there and there's a big giant scratch in the back. Whoever used to own this thing before me just let his tool slip and he yammed this thing up pretty good. So, now it's mine. That's cool. The face is perfect. So the crystal's perfect. Hardlex, great lume, really good crown, really good bezel. And of course, it beats the Seiko curse and lines up. Look at that. It has just the tiniest, I don't even think you want to call it back play. Look at that. Yeah, I'd say that lines up pretty good. So, yeah, I love that watch. You can see the style I like. I like the big indices. And so, it's going to come down to these two. Everyday dress watch, everyday sports watch. These are the watches that I've lusted after the longest. My first luxury watch, and this is the one I wanted all along but couldn't find for the price, and then finally did find it for the price. So it's also the one that'll sell the highest because I have the bracelet for it. It'll get me more money than this one if I had to raise money for some reason. So the Tudor Black Bay Heritage 41 with the black dial. Amazing lume. Keeps. It's a plus 1 second watch. Plain and simple. It's more accurate than my Rolex. This watch has got a ton of scratches on it. I've worn the day outside of it. It is all me. Nothing else about this. Oh, I got a good scratch there. Look at that one. That's a nice one up above that, between the 11 and the 12. That's a good one there. But lugs are all beat to heck. I tried to refinish one of the lugs and did a terrible job. I gave up. See that terrible job I did in refinishing that lug. So, it's all mine. I'm keeping this one. This is a great watch. I love this thing. I do wear it a lot. So these are the three I would keep right here. My 3 watches. If I had to get rid of the rest of these, I'd hate to see the Rolex and the other Tudor and the King of all G's disappear on me. But I could raise $8,000, $9,000 right there. Probably if I really pushed myself hard, that would be $9,000 I could raise with these watches. And maybe out of the other box, I could pull up a couple of watches that aren't really worth anything, but $50 is $50. If I'm desperate enough to sell all my watches, I might as well sell all my watches. So I could raise another $200 or $300 in the other box, but this is $8,000 or $9,000 right here. If I had to do it tomorrow, would I do it tomorrow? I have a hard time seeing any circumstance other than the apocalypse at the end of the world where I'm trading watches for food and ammunition. I don't see a reason for me to get rid of these things ever. So, they're back and they're going to stay in the box. This is a very interesting conversation that Jory had with his audience, and I thought it was really cool. The best 3 watches you have currently in your collection. And I've owned a lot. I had a lot of watches. I'm going to do a video at the end of the year. State of what was the collection, because this has been a big year for changes for me. It's the biggest one yet. So anyways, that's Big Jim with the big wrist. My 8.5-inch wrist says hello to y'all.